beloved audience. Listen to the full story about Martin Luther King Jr. This is the story of Martin Luther King Jr. He was a great humanist and an activist who was a strong advocate of nonviolence. He fought for civil rights and managed to change the world into a better place. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, in the USA. He grew up in a country where African Americans did not have the same rights as white Americans. It was a time of racial segregation, a time of repression. In buses, black Americans had to give seats to white Americans. In 1955, Rosa Parks refused to and become the symbol for the Montgomery bus boycott, spearheaded by King. After a 835-day boycott, the courts lifted the segregation in buses. Victory. King had become famous from his role in Montgomery bus boycott. But that was the beginning. In the following years, he became one of the main activists fighting against segregation all over the country, particularly in the South. His role in the civil rights movement got King into trouble with the law multiple times. He never gave in and accepted all punishments dealt to him. During his life he was thrown into prison a total of 29 times. King, along with leaders of other civil rights organizations, organized the March on Washington, D.C. in 1963. The march was a resounding success. More than 250,000 people of diverse ethnicities attended the event. It was there, in Washington, D.C., that King delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech, one of the finest in the history of American oratory. The march and, in particular, King's speech, facilitated passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. For fighting against racial inequality through nonviolent means, King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. It was not the last award for this great man. King did not stop combating racial segregation and inequality. He started campaigns against poverty and spoke against the Vietnam War. In 1968, King was planning a national occupation of Washington, D.C. The Poor People's Campaign was an effort to gain economic justice. While preparing for the Poor People's Campaign in Memphis, Tennessee, King was shot on the balcony of his motel room. He died at the age of 39, but his legacy and achievements live on. He truly made the world a better place. This concludes the story of Martin Luther King, Jr. Thank you for paying attention.